Hello everyone, welcome back. We are looking at the Awstriker today. So the Awstriker was first released in the United States back in 1985 and included the driver crankcase. The toy also sold in 1986 and unfortunately was discontinued in 1987. So this was one of the first toys that we've had in a while that actually picked up when a lot of the other ones were kind of discontinued. Um, the Awstriker was also available without the driver as a mail-in order or mail away order or whatever in 1988 to 1989. This did have a four-wheel suspension. So as we can see, we have crankcase here and we have some wonderful images from yojo.com as we kind of go from a very nice front view. Um, you know, I know it's going to say as to what kind of cannon that is on top here. Um, for our purposes, we're going to call it kind of a laser cannon. And it is, you can see that there is a cable that goes down to the passenger seat here for them to be able to try and uh, aim it here. We have a nice rear view of it. And then we start getting some nice side views. This is really based off the old Doom buggy. So to me, it's it's like the old Volkswagen Doom buggy, but it's done as a military vehicle. Um, and it's another smaller vehicle that allowed a lot of us to have adventures with and all that. And we would have the two people here and then like two or one on each side, someone hanging off the back or so. It's just interesting how we would have kind of have done that way back when. And this is a very nice, and to me, in a lot of regards, a very iconic vehicle. Um, and I know this was said on somebody else's video that I've watched because I do watch other content creators. Um, not only does the cover come off, but I think the engine actually comes out of there too. So it gave you the ability to try and help feel like your Joes were doing more than just fighting Cobra. They could actually live out some other issues, things breaking down or whatever else. As we see here, now this would be crankcase sitting here. We have gun ho, and of course, now my mind's gone blank again. Dusty. So, kind of hanging off the side. Like I said, we would always have characters hanging off the side. Again, it's another vehicle I'd never had, but I did have a friend that actually had a couple of these. So going through the Awstriker and trying to read through all this, and this is, again, where I had gotten a lot of my information is off of these when I was looking for all this stuff. And of course, showing you how everything's put together, which is a wonderful view. And of course, we swing all the way back around to our very first view here. Easily broken or lost pieces, the Awstriker included two antennas, a camera, and an engine cover, which were easily broken or misplaced. So it didn't have the engine that came out, and I kind of thought it did, but apparently I'm wrong on this. So Sun Bo shows an Awstriker trying to go over a bridge. And we have 11 different pictures here for Action Force, which is our European counterpart. So they had gotten a nice picture of the Awstriker with what looks to me to be Bazooka. And we get a file card. So here, all-weather and environment vehicle, Awstriker. Which is funny because we're doing some of this very same thing with the UTVs that we have today. So it's a 2.8 ton vehicle. Speed with a two-man crew, fully loaded, is 105 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour cross country. Total range 100% loaded is 520 miles. The armament is one modified 7.62 six-barrel minigun with a 6,000 round ammunition in a tandem magazine on linkless feed mechanism. The gun was housed in a flash suppressor, and is mounted on an auto tracking platform that follows a dash-mounted laser designated or designator. So this is your designator right here. So they're saying this is a flash suppressing 6-barreled minigun. So it's on top, which is funny because we are using a minigun on the top of a rack mounted, although we actually have someone that pops up and then they use it. So if you want to look, it is up on YouTube. I did see it. I don't remember the name of it, but they are doing it. Polaris is making it for the Army. There's another company that's making one for the Marine Corps, but they do have like a 4-seater, and in between the 4 seats, we actually have a turret. Polaris doesn't make the gun itself or anything, but they just make the mount there so that way it can be used. So it's an interesting thing that we are actually doing this in a limited sense for special forces and that. All right, so the Ostriker is equipped with a gigahertz range frequency wobbler clandestine operation radio for behind the lines maneuvers. Okay. As I'm thinking I need to scroll down here and I don't need to. All right, the TAC page. So here we have a little display here. And of course, I was right. We have bazooka here along with heavy metal. And as they're kind of pointing out all the different things that we have up here, which is a little on the finer side than what I can read on my computer than what you might be able to read if you're actually doing this on a big screen TV. All right, we have a 4-wheel suspension on the vehicle with remote control TV scanner for top-mounted cannon. So they're seeing it's a cannon now. So we'll see what they have to call this. 2-way communication antenna, quick repair, aluminum alloy transverse engine, advanced infrared sighting, fire control camera, fiberglass body over tubular space frame, and a 175/70 VR 15 off-road tires. So they don't say what the cannon is. They just said it's a just a top-mounted cannon. So let's see what else we can find here. All right. So this gets a little too small for me here, but we do have flying off the sand dune at 105 miles an hour with 6 Cobra paralyzers on your tail is what the all-weather and environment Striker is all about. With pinpoint steering, breakneck mobility, and exciting firepower of the high-speed battlecraft, the word awesome always comes to mind. So, let's see what else. Oh, somehow somebody has a micro vehicle of it. Does look very nice. I do like how that looks. And of course, G.I. Joe has been sent on a special mission, and here it is out on the dune somewhere. And it's a birthday card nonetheless. So wonderful to see this, kind of crossing over and doing some of this stuff. I'm sure as a kid I would have been happy to see that. All right, so Wild Weasel. Probably one of his designation cards to sit here and say this is what we want to watch out for. Of course, Wild Weasel is the pilot of the Rattler. And of course, we have a commercial. Wow, I can't speak today. Commercial spot for the Ostriker. Oh, goodness me. Okay, so we do have some variations from the. Says no variations of the Ostriker are known to exist, but there is a different look. And let's see what we have variations of the Ostriker listed down below. So we have 1985. 2001, it's all in black. 2003 has a nice camo, like a night camo on there. And we're back to green in 2008. Geez. 2008 also has a sand version of it. And 2010 has a black version with a kind of desert or like a desert camo or paint job roll bars here. So, and again, it is very interesting. Original retail price was $6.59. all the way back in 1985. So do please keep in mind, the price of things are a lot different then than what they are, obviously, almost 40 years later. And it is interesting to see some of this stuff. So, okay, so as I take the Striker into our Star Wars adventure, it is at speeder scale. It's 13 feet long, has a crew of 2. Passengers are none. Now, there are technically no passengers, although we have people sitting all over the place. I gave it 1/2 cover. I didn't give it a cargo capacity, apparently. So, why don't we save? Because we're probably going to, on something like this, you could probably just mount something on there. So, let's put 65 kilograms. Whether you think it should or not, let me know in the comments. Cover is 1/2. Of course, it's ground based, so I gave it maneuver or altitude range of ground. Our maneuverability is 3D. I figured that this would be, typically when we think of buggies and shorter vehicles, typically they can kind of swing around a little bit easier. It can go 105 miles an hour. I don't have that in kilometers, I'm sorry. Body strength, I gave it a 1D plus 2. This is a lot of roll cage, and if you're going at top speed, even a good roll cage like this is going to have its limitations. So I felt maybe just a little under par would be a little bit better. Please let me know what you think about it. I did make it a heavy repeating heavy repeating blaster. Wow. And it's at personnel scale. So going at 6D with a fire control of 3D with our laser guidance here. Figuring that you're probably going to be able to see the laser out there as well as having it in the screen. That's kind of the reason why I gave it what I did. It's an iconic vehicle. I do remember this being used quite a few times in the cartoon. I don't know about the comic books because obviously I didn't really read a lot of the comics. But it's another one of those vehicles, perfect for a fast response. You can kind of airdrop it, kick it out of a plane with some parachutes, and it's there, and we have something to go. That's why I'm kind of excited to see that they're using UTVs and all that, because it's that same concept. They don't have, maybe it's not the most armored vehicle. Seeing that a lot of our, or at least from when I was in, and this is where we've been doing a lot more combat maneuvers in desert territories. So to look at it in that regard, it's not like you're walking 12 miles in a jungle or whatever. You're out in the middle of nowhere, and you can see for miles. So having something that gets you from point A to point B a little bit faster is very helpful, and that's the way I kind of see the world today. Even if we got back into jungle terrain and stuff like that, to think of World War II, the niche that the old Willys Jeep really held was the fact that it was a lightweight vehicle and that it could haul X amount of weight behind it. That was really what it went to. And then we got bigger and bigger beyond that. We went to the Humvees, a lot heavier. Yeah, we could still drop it. But we did kind of veer away from that. We want a lightweight vehicle that we can get from point A to point B a lot easier. And especially for a G.I. Joe force, whether it's the SEALs, the Army Rangers, the what have you, I really see a big need for something lightweight like that, that they could easily get from point A to point B to help get troops here and there at a faster speed than just walking. Even if we have them only going about 35 to 50 miles an hour, it's still quite a bit faster when we're going to walk, and it gets us around. So that's my take on it. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm always happy to hear your comments, and I usually reply back to them. Um, Hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next video.